car crash, coloured glass flying everywhere, just like in the movies, endless spinning, blurry and distant. You can almost hear the distorted sounds of sirens coming from afar. You see the colourful light bouncing from the disco ball and touching your optic nerve. You can't move, you just absorb it. It's hypnotising. This strange light party, it's taking shape. Candy wrappings on the production line, dancing. Disco pain, party crash, sugar.
Never really understand people staying in the front, but high school emptiness, 19th centuries, dead poets, board and chalk, flies at Diavand, chemistry and leather, yellow lights, ruined towns, collapsed factories, friends gone, I'm gone. Performing Queen on the Nord, sometimes lost, sometimes cool, lost in suburbs, waiting for leaving. News for lads, lost in the roads, latex and chains, waiting for leaving.
The Sea of the Licking Goats for 2.mp4 by Ian. Free skin, it's more susceptible to weather, which is changing right now. It's 21 Celsius, the bura is blowing. Zvizdan doesn't help. The slowly created comfort concentrates, it's trying to stay. Sometimes it bursts in a second, sometimes it converts into a new experience of comfort. I'll let the goats do their thing, they're okay. Best that I move, first into the water, then on the wind, and then into the jacket.
Why are there so many cats on the internet? Find several of them. I'm gonna give you until 8:45, 7:45 for Ian. So, cats require relatively little maintenance, unlike people. And they're basically nocturnal animals. Here we disagree. So they're a perfect match for the internet lifestyle. There's a Wikipedia article on cats and the internet. There's fire in the Kamin because I can't remember the word. And it is cold. It is no longer summer, and I hate it. It's so quickly gone. Both the summer and the word for the fireplace. This Kamin in another language. But let's just get back to the topic of cats on the internet and open in my Windows photo viewer. Somebody said today that this cat was going to be famous. So, let's look at the history of how they rose to fame. Cats have been shared by email. Cats have been hexed a lot and bent. 3 interesting facts about cats are: 1. They will revert to their primal self if humans suddenly disappeared, and will thrive in post-apocalypses feeding on sparrows. They never lose their hunting instincts. I read this in a book. 2. A cat was a mayor of an Alaskan town for 20 years. I was a mayor of just trying to figure it out for 28. 3. There's a cat staring at me through my monitor, but it might as well be a series of canyons, sticky needles in a bunch, something marzipan to eat, rotary blades, and a cityscape. I don't know. I'm not even sure I'm qualified to write this much about cats on the internet and open in my Windows photo viewer. Look at the way it congests its head. Look at the way it sprouts its ears. Look at the 4 corners of an image that is not an image, but a described area of my desktop. It only pretends to have edges. It only pretends to be finite. It could swell and spill and spool itself around my whole kitchen if it so pleases. Or at least it feels like it could. I'm not saying it's got eyes, but it's got a nose and ears and legs too. I keep forgetting how the internet is just fingers linked through cables with humans attached. Little artificial nerves that like to swim and dive under the oceans. If I send this to Sky, it's not virtual at all. It's physical. The signal travels from my fingertips into the router and into the cable that connects it to the wider network that runs from my garden to the city grid. And then it goes through more cables and more networks until it reaches the sea, where I was this summer and I miss it already. And then it dives through a cable under the Atlantic, travels among more grids until it reaches Chicago and eventually Sky's computer. Every time I touch the sea, I keep thinking how I'm touching all the shores of the world because the sea is touching all the shores of the world. This is probably why we put our transatlantic cables into the ocean. This is probably why there are so many cats on the internet.